Welcome, 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 everybody. We appreciate you guys joining us this evening. Appreciate you cutting some time out of your day to be able to join us. As you guys are all entering tonight, just make sure to cut your cameras on so that we can see you, so that we can interact tonight. Glad to have you. Got a special treat for you. Co-founder Peter Vekselman here to talk to us a little bit about what it's like doing deals with Partner Driven, about scaling or starting your real estate investing business. So one thing that I'd kind of like to know is everybody's getting started. We want to be interactive tonight. We're going to have some questions answered at the end. But as we're getting started, as people are kind of getting in here, if you guys don't mind, just look at the bottom of your screen. You'll see that chat button. If you don't mind, just drop in there where you're calling out of and where you're kind of at with your real estate investing journey. Is this something that's brand new to you? Is this something that you've been doing for many years? Are you looking to scale your business? I would love to get to hear and see where everybody's from and your experience. We work with people from beginner to seasoned investor and everybody in between. So I always love to see where everybody's at in that journey.
There you go.
Looks like we've got iPhone from DC, Lloyd's from Atlanta, Georgia, looking to scale. Harry's from Indianapolis. Lloyd's a seasoned investor. Robert Martin from Connecticut. Judith in Connecticut as well. Good to meet you guys. Good to have you here. Peter, I see you're maybe having some camera problems. Is everything all right on your end?
Yep, everything's good.
Good, good. We're glad to have you this evening. Glad to have things in store. And just a reminder, everybody, we've got about an hour set aside tonight to go through things, get to the end, answer some questions. So make sure you're engaged, keep the cameras on, and let's get into it, Peter.
All right, guys. Only thing I ask, click on them cameras. We're gonna be talking about real estate, and chances are, as always, after tonight, there's gonna be a number of you all that are gonna be. We're gonna be doing some deals together, so I'd love to get to know you here a little bit tonight. By the way, David always say an hour. Hour's too long. I try to go way quicker than that. I think everyone's attention span in today's world dies way, way before then. So I promise you I'll be as brief as possible. I'm going to lay out what it is we do. I'm going to leave a couple minutes for questioning, and then I'm out. I'm out. I think what we do is very black and white. It's very straightforward. When people see the opportunity to work with myself and my team, they're either like, holy crap, this is the best thing since sliced bread I'm in, or I didn't quite get that, which means you're not in. So, and I'll be honest with you all, I'm here to lay out some facts, but I want you all to make a decision tonight. A lot of times people pop onto these and they think they're going to learn, like, I'm going to teach you and all this. And I've gotten away from teaching real estate long time ago, honestly. I've gotten away from teaching even people on my team sometimes say, well, Pete, why don't you teach more? And let me tell you why I've gotten away from teaching real estate. Some of y'all are living it. Some of y'all are very, very smart in real estate. Some of y'all know more about real estate than I do. And the real question is, has real estate knowledge ever really made money for people? And the reality is it hasn't. Real estate is one of those, there are some industries like, if you're going to be a brain surgeon, you better be on point. You better know what you're doing. If you're going to be a rocket guy, an astronaut, a rocket scientist, you better know what you're doing. Even some professions like, accounting, you gotta know. No one's ever going to point to their knowledge in real estate and say, well, it's because I learned this that now I'm uber successful. Again, some of you guys are living it. So real estate is not a knowledge base type of a business in terms of equating itself to success. The other thing I'll tell you, when it comes to learning and studying real estate, here's something a lot of people just will not tell you. I mean, you can learn everything you can learn in YouTube. And as a matter of fact, I could tell you, YouTube is probably smarter than 99.999999999% of the people teaching real estate. And ChatGPT is 100% smarter than 100% of people teaching real estate. So knowledge is is really not the key to real estate. So what I want to do, and by the way, if you guys don't mind, click on your cameras. I told you guys already, I'm going to be brief. I'm going to be to the point, but we're going to talk about something very serious today. So if you don't mind, just give me the courtesy of click on your cameras. I want to see who I'm talking to. I promise you, I'm going to leave a couple minutes at the end for you guys to ask questions and stuff like this. But here's the way I like to handle today. I want to lay out the basic fundamental problem of real estate and real estate investing. Like, if you think about it, right? If you think about it, there are probably thousands of webinars just like this going on tonight across the United States. Maybe tens of thousands. And the reason for that, like, why do you think that is? The reason for that is there's an overwhelming amount of people that want to be in real estate investing. I always tell people there's two fields that dominate of people wanting to get into them. Like, between these two fields, I bet if you ask 100 random people in the streets, 95% of them would say, yeah, I'd love to be there in one or the other in both. And that is this: the stock market and real estate investing. Between those two fields, probably about 80 to 90% of everybody in the United States wants to partake in. Now, I'm not here to talk to you guys tonight about the stock market or the stocks. That's definitely not my expertise. But I am here to talk to you guys about real estate investing today, because that is my expertise. And I only consider myself to be an expert in it, not based upon what I know about it, because like I said, I don't really know a ton, but I know a lot about like a few things. Like, I probably know more about a few things than anyone else in the country. I'm very good at them. And because of that knowledge, I've been able to do thousands of real estate deals. Okay. But here's the reality of real estate investing. And again, I'm not going to share anything with you all tonight that anyone is going to argue with me or disagree with me about. Um, I'm just going to say things that you're not going to hear many people, kind of, you would say in my position, talk about. But the reality is, think about it. An overwhelming amount of people in the US want to somehow partake in real estate. Everybody here on this call wants to somehow partake in real estate, right? But you guys, I'm going to give you an interesting statistic. Do you guys know less than 3% of people ever become financially successful in real estate? I mean, that is like, think about this. An overwhelming amount of people in the US would choose real estate as one of the top two things they want to become successful in. Stock market and real estate. Those are the two things that everybody wants to get into. And in real estate, less than 3% ever really become financially successful. If you think about it, it's an abysmal statistic. Like, it's one thing to say 1 out of 1,000 people wants to do this, and there's not a big chance of success. You know, like tightrope walking. I don't know why I pulled that out, but if you're going to be a tightrope walker, probably out of 1,000, maybe out of 10,000 people want to be successful at it. Probably doesn't have a huge chance of success, but you know, it's such a small number, small sample, nobody thinks about it. But this can't be overlooked when it comes to real estate investing. Less than 3% success rate. But yet everybody in this call tonight has that one thing in common. I assume you guys want to be successful in real estate. If you think about it, really, if you think about it and start analyzing it, there is no way anybody in this call will accept that type of a success rate with anything that you guys are involved in life right now, right? Like, how many of you guys would go to a grocery store that's got a 3% success rate in terms of people aren't getting food poisoning? All right. How many people will go to university that's got afterwards a placement of 3%? All right. I mean, you probably won't even leave your car at a mechanic shop that has 97% failure rate. I guarantee you, you would never check yourself into a hospital with 97% failure rate. Yet every single day, thousands upon thousands of people, just like you all, try to excel somehow, at least from a knowledge base in this industry. And really, what I say to people, people have become immune to the statistic, right? If you see something and hear something and you become part of something long enough, you just accept it, good or bad. That's just the way we've been conditioned to be. When you're part of something long enough, whether it's good or bad, you're conditioned to just accept it. Well, if that's a true statistic, and it is, then the real there's two questions afterwards. Question number one is why? Why is it that less than 3% of people, all the hundreds of thousands, millions of people that want to be successful in real estate, why is it that less than 3% really truly become financially successful? And I'll tell you the biggest reason why. You don't think about it, but it's really not your fault. It is really the fault of the way real estate investing world works. And here's how it works. And for those of you that have been trying to do this business to whatever level, what I'm about to share with you is going to make total sense to you. But this is why this business has such an abysmal success rate. Here's what happens to an average person that wants to become successful in this space. This is the journey. You know, every industry's got a journey. Well, real estate investing also has a journey involved with it. And this is the journey of a typical real estate investor wannabe. You get in this industry and you have a perception of it. You kind of a mental perception of what you need to do to become successful. And at first, very first thing that we all start at is you got to know what you're doing, right? That is like the very first thing people do is they're like, okay, I got to learn this thing. I want to be in this industry, so I got to understand this industry. So how do most people go about learning and studying this industry? It's by happen chance. It's just by random things. It's whoever screams the loudest on the internet. It's whoever's got the biggest advertising budget. It's whoever could reach you as an individual from a perception of, hey, I know what it is I'm doing. So most people, from a knowledge perspective, literally get sucked into whatever it is that they perceive to be that's the guy, that's the girl, that's the guru, right? And again, that's almost always correlated to their ability to market to you. So you get in this thing and you start learning from whoever. By the way, let me be the first one to tell you guys, there are some incredible educators in the space. There are some um, extremely successful people in this space from a knowledge perspective. There are some people that if you like listen to them talk for an hour about real estate, 100% you will learn something, right? So that's where it all starts. I got to learn something. Now that you've learned something or enough to do something, then you get to the next part of real estate investing. And usually, no matter what like technique and no matter what strategy you decide to go with, but usually the next piece is you're trying to figure out, I got to get a deal, right? There's no technique, there's no strategy, there's nothing in real estate that works. The one thing everything in real estate is in common is it all revolves around real estate. It revolves around properties. So once you learn something, the very next thing is like, okay, I'm going to use this strategy that I learned, or I'm going to use this technique that I'm learned. So now I need to find some kind of a deal. So this is what usually happens when people are thinking that, right? When people are thinking that, here's what usually happens. Most people aren't um, experts at finding deals. So they go about it in one of three ways. Way number one, again, it doesn't matter what technique, what strategy, this is how most people go about it. Way number one, this is the overwhelming way most people do it. They call a local real estate agent. They're like, "Hey man, I'm excited, I'm fired up. I'm going to be successful in this space. I need a deal. You know, I'm going to use this technique. I'm going to buy rentals, I'm going to buy fix and flips, I want to do some creative strategies. I want to do some wholesaling, whatever. But so the first thing is this huge glob exists out there, and it's the easiest form to go to. And that is called a real estate agent. And again, tonight I'm not here really to back these things up. I'm just here to talk to you guys based upon experience. Mistake number one. In today's marketplace, there is no deals for us as investors from real estate agents. How do I know? I've done thousands, upwards of 4,000 deals. I haven't bought a deal from a realtor in 4 years. If I don't buy deals from real estate agents, then I promise you that's not a good source, right? If a guy that's done thousands of deals is not using that as a source, I promise you it's not a good source for you. Then there's that second tier people think about it, okay? If they don't think about their local realtors, they get sucked into what are known the wholesaler world. And wholesalers, they exist in every city. These are people designed, literally designed to take advantage of the new guy. Like that is their whole point of existence. Half of them are brand new themselves, so that's danger, danger, and brand new working with brand new. But that whole industry really is designed to really take advantage of the brand new person. So that is not 100%. You got to stay away from that. Okay. Or the third option for finding a deal is people just get on the internet and they start searching, like, how do you find a deal? Different marketing systems, techniques, companies that'll find deals for you, lead gen, and all this. And so if you go into this last final scenario, the problem with that scenario is there's really thousands. Like, just try tonight, Google, find motivated sellers, or, I need to find a real estate deal. You're going to see there's thousands of options. You're on the right track. You're totally in the wrong track with real estate agents, 100% on the wrong track getting deals from wholesalers, but you're on the right track if you're into all this other stuff, right? Kind of the thousands of other techniques and strategies of finding deals. But here's the problem with those cumulatively. There's literally thousands of them, like literally thousands of them. Check it out on the internet. The problem with that strategy is only 4 techniques right now work. And how in the world would you, like as a brand new investor, look at thousands of different options and find the 4 that work? It's only really 4 that work, okay? So then you struggle through that. So now you're out there trying to put a deal together, however you're getting it. Then all of a sudden this hits you, you're like, gosh, I'm putting a deal together. I'm talking to sellers. I've never even talked to a seller before. What in the heck do I say to this seller? How do I communicate with the seller? So again, you go back and you try to get some, some knowledge base about that, right? And again, you're going to be overwhelmed with thousands of different ways of communicating with sellers. You can get templates for
I think we might have just lost Peter to his internet. I'm not sure if that's just what happened there. It definitely could be. So I'm sure he's going to be logging back on here in a second. But in the meantime, just continuing and piggybacking off of that, being direct to those sellers allows you the opportunity to be flexible. It gives you the opportunity to be more creative in your deals and take more advantage of your deals versus being direct to those owners or being direct to wholesalers and real estate agents is where he was going with that. What I would like to do, well, here's Peter. Let's see if we can get him back on. Peter, are you with us? I see you, but I don't hear you.
All right, sorry about that. I'm going to switch over to my laptop here in a second. So now you're finding this problem of, what, you got to communicate to these sellers. So now you're getting that information somewhere else. Then you get to a point where beyond communicating, you realize to really make a deal happen, you got to do something.
Recording in progress.
Sorry about that. That's technology for you. So then, you're trying to you start realizing, well, not only do I got to talk to these sellers, but you got to negotiate deals. Deals aren't just there's no deal that's ever been handed to anybody on a platter. And how many people come into this industry from a negotiation perspective, right? So again, you're out there trying to figure out how to do it. You're getting some training, you're getting some knowledge, you go somewhere else for that. Then let's say you struggle through all that and now you've got a deal, right? You've got a deal put together. And now you're realizing, well, goodness, now that I've identified this house, how do I even know if it's a good house or not a good house? I went through all these steps to get to this point. Now I'm like a little confused. This kind of looks pretty good. So now you realize you got to figure out how to do due diligence on that house and how to do inspections of that house. You go to your maybe some local resources for that. You identify those, you strategize with those. Now you've gotten past that point and you think, well, I think I got a pretty good deal. Let's go run with it. So now you're up to the next point. Now you're like, okay, I got to buy this house. So I need some kind of a closing, a title agency, a closing attorney. You don't even realize there's specific attorneys to be used, specific title agencies. So you make some random calls, you get a hold of somebody, you're going to that. Now you're like, well, I got to secure money for that. And like, well, I remember when I learned about this business, they told me this thing, I need to borrow like hard money. That's the industry I'm in. So you Google a couple local hard money guys, you communicate with them, you talk to them. You have no idea that the way they structured this deal is they're actually going to make more money on that deal than you are. Okay. But now you're past that point. Now you've closed that deal. You've somehow funded that deal. Remember, you're leaving all the stuff behind you. You're not sure, was the due diligence run the right way? Did you get the numbers the right way? But you're moving forward. Now you're getting to really what many of us consider the hardest part of the deal. And that is fixing that property. Because 98 or some percent of deals that, the world that we're in is, almost all this stuff needs some kind of rehab and stuff. And now you have officially put the word, newbie on your forehead. You're talking to the local contractors, the local GCs, and they literally just read the word newbie on you. And so now that pain begins. You guys know more people lose money in flipping on the rehab side than any other part. Now you've struggled through that. You're totally upside down in the deal. You know what's going on at this point. You feel like you know. Only thing you really know, this deal is not going to make money for you. Now you got to sell it. So now you're trying to figure out, who do I even get to sell this thing? And by time you're done, if you are not flat out totally out of money, you're just glad that you're still alive. And that's the last deal you're ever going to do. And I could tell you, for those of you that have ever tried to do real estate deal, that is the experience most investors go through. And this is why our industry has such an abysmal success rate of less than 3%. And see, what I painted a picture for you is this. All those parts are critical. You got to know what you're doing. You got to have the marketing piece. You got to have the negotiations. You got to have the scripts. You got to have the closing attorneys. You got to have the money. You got to have the construction piece. You got to have the back end sales. You got to have the due diligence. You got all of this. The problem with how this business is put together is none of that is all under one roof. It's all dislocated. It's all piecemealed. And piecemealing this business, which, by the way, I get it. For those of you that understand what I'm talking about, it's the only way to do it. But piecemealing this business is no different than, let's say you have an assembly line to how to build a car. But instead of building that car through an assembly line, you start with an assembly line, you put the wheels on, and then you drive that car across country and you put the motor in, and you drive it across country again, and you paint, and by time it's all done, you bring it back to the assembly line, and you're over budget, over cost, over time, and that car looks nothing the way it's supposed to had it just not stayed in the assembly line. And so I will tell you guys, the biggest reason so few people become successful in real estate investing is there is no assembly line. And when you piecemeal things together, they just don't work. It's just like putting together, again, go back to that car example. It's like putting together a Rolls Royce by just running around to the local junkyards where you live. It just doesn't work, right? It just doesn't work. But that is the fundamental problem of why so few people ever become successful in real estate investing. It's nothing is under one roof. And because it's not under one roof, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You're trying to put the jigsaw puzzle together yourself. In reality, you just can't do it. You just can't do it. You don't know which pieces fit together. You don't know what marketing piece fits together. You don't know where you should get your knowledge the right way. You don't know the right due diligence package. You don't understand the art of raising capital, the art of negotiating deals, the science involved behind working with contractors and paying out budgets and stuff like that. And that's the problem. And this is what we've solved here at Partner Driven. Because here at Partner Driven, we have brought all of those pieces and we put them all under one roof. And the reason we brought them all here and we put them all under one roof is that we do the one thing that, as far as I know, nobody else will do for you or with you at the national level. We partner with you. This is what Partner Driven is all about. We're not a training company. We're not a coaching company. We're a real estate investment company. We're a real estate investment company that's done thousands of real estate deals. And what makes us so unique and unusual in our space is that we don't do our own deals. We don't source our own deals. We don't do our own direct mail. We don't do our own marketing. We don't have our own bird dogs. We don't do any of that conventional stuff. Many years ago, we switched to a model that we felt would be like a game changer for us and the general population out there. We committed to working with individuals just like you guys and solving the big problem of real estate investing, and that is this: putting everything under one roof. So now when you're with us, this is what it looks like to be a partner here, Partner Driven. Number one, and again, what we do is we just provide these essential elements, essential components that everybody, like literally everybody, needs if you're going to be successful in real estate investing. Number one, I'm just going to go through what I went through right now, but I'm going to show you how we do it. Number one, you do have to know what you're doing in this business. And I'll tell you the biggest problem just with that one piece. This is not a business that you could learn as you go. This is not a business where you want to learn as you go. Ask me how I know, okay? Some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. This is not a business you want to just kind of wing it and hope for the best. It's also not a business where you can go to YouTube and watch some videos. It's also not a business that you can go one of those weekend guru seminars, and I'm sure some of you guys know which ones I'm talking about. By the way, everything I just mentioned is great general knowledge, right? But the reason none of that works is that real estate is one of those industries where it's not built on general knowledge. It's built on specific knowledge to the specific deal you're doing. You see, in real estate, every single deal is different. Every single deal is unique. So the only knowledge that really matters is the knowledge on the deal you're doing right now. And so what we do here at Partner Driven is we literally take you by the hand, and on a daily basis, as you start putting deals together with us, we step by step by step give you specific instructions on what you have to do that particular day. By the way, this piece right here is the number one overlooked piece for real estate investors. They don't understand there's a big difference between general knowledge, which is what everyone's chasing, and specific deal knowledge, right? The reason nobody can get specific deal knowledge is that it's not in everyone's best interest to give you specific deal knowledge. It's not how the gurus work. It's not how the general training. It's not how YouTube works. They have to give you general stuff. And general is just enough to make you dangerous. So we only teach specifics to the deal that you're involved in. The second thing is when you identify a deal and you get any kind of attraction a deal, you got to know, is this even a good deal? And so we here at Partner Driven, we have a due diligence system and a process we take all your deals through. And very quickly we could figure out if what you're working on hey, good, smart, continue, let's put this deal together, or no, this is a waste of time. You also remember I said there's thousands of marketing techniques and strategies out there. Only 4 work in today's marketplace. We know what those 4 are. That's how we're getting 100% of our deals. So we're going to connect you and line you up with those 4 marketing techniques and strategies that are currently working in the marketplace. Okay? When the deal comes along, now that you understand specific instructions on what to do that deal, now that we could specifically identify, is this a good deal or a bad deal? Now that we have the ability to market to even find that deal, the next piece, we here at Partner Driven, we have a national title operation. Bottom line is we have the ability to close your deals no matter where they are. That's huge. And I know a lot of people don't think about that. Like nobody thinks about real estate. Oh man, it's like a paperwork file, you know, driven kind of a business. It is. Like when it comes to closings, you got to drive that sucker. I promise you. How do I know? We've done thousands of these. So we have a full-time person here that heads up our whole back end office to close these deals off. Very critical, very, very important. It's absolutely essential if you're going to be successful as a real estate investor. Absolutely needs to be done. There's no way around it. The next piece is you got to fund that deal. And this is why most people actually get involved with us, because you realize very quickly we put up all the money. When you're working with us, you don't have to even put $1 of your own money into deals. We put up all the money, we put up all the capital. We put up the money to buy these, we put up the money to fix them, we put up the money, the carrying costs, insurance, taxes, any budget overruns, everything. You don't have to even sign anything. You don't have to even go on the line. You don't have to guarantee anything. Like, can you imagine doing a real estate deal with 0 liability? And if something goes wrong, we assume all the liability too. So we've had deals, we've lost 20, 30, over $100,000 in a particular deal. The partner lost 0. We absorb all the losses. This is a very important piece. When you're partnering with us, you have 100% upside, 0 downside. There's no one else, no other way of structuring real estate where you only could realize upside and negate 100% of the downside. That's how we do it. The other piece is we have a national construction team that can come anywhere in the United States to get these properties fixed. That's huge because this is by far the top way that people, investors specifically, bleed in this business, right? For those of you that have ever done deals and you've had issues with them, I guarantee you know what I'm talking about. So we have the ability to deploy our construction teams across the US to get these deals fixed. Then we just sell them using whatever technique and strategy. If it's a fix and flip, hotel, wholesale, pre-list, pre-market, we have a lot of different strategies we utilize in the back end. And then we split the profits with partners like you 50-50. And that's the unique thing about partner driven. And the reason I wanted to take this approach today is a lot of times people look at us from a perspective, well, is this how I want to do it? And today I took an unusual approach, not from is this how you want to do it, which by the way, in my opinion, well, not, it's not in my opinion. I think it's foregone conclusion. If you can't get deals done using it, partnering with us, this is probably not a business you should be in. But I wanted you to kind of look behind the scenes of why really so few people become successful in this business. And the reason so few people become successful, as I've told you, it's set up to lose. It really is. This whole dislocation, no national organization, no assembly line, no movement from A to B to C, from training to education to negotiations to all of that is piecemeal together, and you just can't. There's no business in the world that can be piecemeal together, and there's definitely can't do it real estate investing. Yet every single day, people are trying to piecemeal together and put it together. And so I tell people any longer, when you start as a real estate investor and you try to do deals by yourself, it's kind of like a losing proposition. You're destined to fail because you don't even most people don't understand They don't even understand the pieces they got put together, much less what are the right pieces, much less how do they fit together, much less can you afford the pieces. And the reality is behind these parts and pieces, most people don't get the fact that they don't have the skill set. Like, how many people have the skill set of negotiations, have the skill set of raising capital, have the skill set of doing a $30,000-$50,000 rehab or hiring someone to do that, have the skill set of finding the right closing attorney, have the skill set of, figure out what exit strategy to use. And so I'm excited when I have the ability a couple times a month to get on these and share what partner driven is all about. So the reason I get on here is because I'm looking for more partners. I could tell you I'm more excited about what's taking place in real estate now than I've been in the couple decades I've been doing this. I'm more excited for three main reasons. Reason number one is because of us. I know it sounds goofy to say that, but that's one of my top reasons why I'm excited about real estate. And the reason I say us is because we have thousands of deals of experience behind us. Like, we're good at this point. We're really, 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 really good at putting deals together and structuring deals and formulating deals. Second reason I'm excited is we have incredible contracts and paperwork that we've worked for years putting together and now have the ability to give our partners like yourselves literally an advantage in a marketplace to find deals. And the third reason I'm so pumped up and excited is because what's taking place in the marketplace right now. We're in an incredible real estate marketplace for a lot of reasons. What's taking place out there, what's taking place with interest rates, the repercussions of uh, the pandemic from a couple years ago, what's taking place economically, what's taking place politically even. When you put all that together, it is an incredible time to be in the real estate investing business. So I'm looking for people that want to do real estate deals. And for that, we'll train you and educate you. We'll put the right marketing teams and marketing pieces in place for you to find local deals. We'll put the right due diligence package to give you very quickly information about good deal, bad deal, no deal. We'll put up all the money. We'll have our closing attorneys close everything up. We'll get our construction team out there to get them fixed, and we sell them. We split the profits down the middle, 50-50. What's your responsibility? We need you to help us find deals. That's what our partners are responsible for. Our partners are responsible in terms of helping us find and identify real estate deals. Okay? So that's the partner-driven model. So the way I think we're going to work it today, and I went a little bit longer than I wanted to, I'll stay on for a couple minutes. I'll answer whatever questions you guys have. But David's going to, or whoever's working with me here behind the scenes today, he's going to drop a link right inside chat right now. So the next step after this meeting is for you guys to connect with us. If you're already talking to us, that's okay. But there's a form inside chat right now. If you're like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to be part of this. I want to partner. I want to do some real estate deals. I want to, get 100% of the upside and 0% of the downside. Everything I mentioned. Then the next step is we want to connect with you and we want to talk to you. Just make sure we're a good fit. Make sure, what you bring to the table is what we're looking for. What we bring to the table is what you're looking for. But I could tell you the key component to being successful with us is very simple. Number one, you got to be coachable. You got to be coachable. Number two, you got to have time to do this. This doesn't happen by osmosis. It's not a get-rich scheme. So we want you to give us in the beginning about 2 to 4 hours a week. And the third reason, which is an important one, you got to want to level up. You got to want to get to those next stages in life. Right? You got to have something in your life that what you're doing right now is just not getting it. That's that's a big play. You got to have a reason to do it. And so if you're coachable, you're willing to put the time and effort, and you're serious about your future, you're a good candidate to potentially partner with us. And so, like I said, the next step for those of you that are like, well, I'd like to check this out more is, inside the chat, there's a link right now. Please take your time and fill it out. Now, having said that, I did say I'm going to stay on here for a little bit and I'm going to answer some questions. So if you got a question, I don't think there is a Zoom, there is a Zoom, um, raise your hand, or if you want to just take yourself off mute. Half the time I can't see the people that are raising their hand. If you got a question, take yourself off mute and fire away. That's what I'm here for. Any questions?
Hi, Peter. This is Starcia. We met some
Hi,
years
Starcia.
ago.
Okay.
Yep, we had lunch and everything. Been
Awesome.
looking for you. I see the success, so hopefully we can connect. Do you do
Awesome.
any new construction deals right now?
No, we don't start with, no, we don't do that. Our goal number one, Star C, is when we start with the partner, we want to get you making money as quickly as possible.
Okay.
New construction is a long-term play. So in the beginning, we want to get in and get out as quickly as possible, do some fix and flip, maybe some quick turn deals and all that. So that's where everything starts with us.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
Yeah, make sure you fill out a form.
I will fill out the form.
Yeah, let's reconnect, Miss Scott.
Yes, let's reconnect.
Looking forward to it.
Peter, this is Peter. This is Paul Coyle in Minnesota.
Hey, Mr. Paul.
I live on the widest part of the Mississippi. We have the largest marina to New Orleans, and real estate is hot. I have a potential for a building a half a block away from a marina that has 7 apartments that needs to be flipped. And then it has a Chinese restaurant that I'll maybe just lease out all the property. But all I do is watch real estate after losing $1.5 million in 08 or 09.
So what I said made sense to you, didn't it?
Oh, that's all I do, bud, is watch real estate because it took it away from me, but I can get it back. I'm not kidding you. In this town, it's only 6,000 people, but now we got more $1 million houses coming up because it's such a small town on a great location, and I can't capitalize on it because I also made it through 2 cancers, 2 neuropathies, a broken back, knees, ankles are shot, but I'm not. And I'm 66 and I'm a driven SOB, and I'm just about out of debt after 1.5. And I've got all these opportunities, and you're the guy that I need to find because all these other idiots aren't smart enough to believe in what I want to do. And you'll like this idea. Part of my comeback is I got a piece of property on the Mississippi that I want to do tiny houses and food trailers on the same property as a side gig. But I love real estate. I love real estate forever. And I just need that push to get going. I don't need a fortune, but it could lead to, I could tie up almost $3 million in real estate tomorrow. But,
well, Paul, here's what I'll tell you. Number one, I'm glad you made it. Congratulations.
Oh, buddy, yeah.
I'm glad you made it. Number 2, remember, you got to be coachable. If you're going to do this with us, we know how to do it.
Yeah.
I know you got some pathways in real estate, but if you're going to do this with me, you're going to take the pathway because I got the pathway of least resistance. And money is the exact same way. So make sure you're coachable. Number 3, make sure you fill out that form inside chat so we could talk.
Okay.
And number 4.
How do I get? Go ahead.
David will somehow connect you with behind the scenes and give.
Okay.
David, can you get Paul the link somehow?
Absolutely. We'll make sure it gets taken care
Yeah,
of.
and I love
Sky.
people are
I have a
survivors,
question.
Paul. I love it. Guess what?
Scott,
About
Peter,
6 months ago, I was in a car wreck. I had a broken back. I broke my back. The neurologist told me I snapped it like a Coke can in half. And here I am 6 months later in probably getting in, and I'm up in your age. But I'm in getting to be the best shape of my life, which I literally am, and I've always been in incredible shape. My only point in bringing that up is I love survivors. I love fighters. I love the no quit attitude. I love that, hey, let's go out there and do it. Anyway, fill out the form. I got to get to the next person, Paul. Let's talk, okay?
Peter,
Okay,
Peter,
Peter,
this is Sky. I have a question.
What's up, Sky?
I'm good. I'm in Minneapolis. I'm in Minnesota also. Okay.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
I have tried deals. Okay, and some of them were not viable. Funding at first was a hard one. The biggest thing with you is to partner with you, and we're the partners. We find the deals. How do we know it's going to be a good deal that you guys want to work with?
Well, that's part of what we do. Like I said, we have a due diligence system that boom right
Okay.
away tells us good deal, bad deal. But Sky, all of our training, we'll never train you on paint color. We'll never train you on how to nail a nail. All that's just all bullshit crap that's worthless.
Right.
Only thing we're gonna teach you is how to find good real estate deals. So you will know right
Okay.
away. That's what we
You
do.
do you do the 70% rule?
Different strategies. We can go up to
Oh,
90% on certain strategies.
okay. Thank you.
Make sure you fill out the form, Sky.
Yep.
Robert,
Peter, one other thing. This Paul,
Yes.
your guy that survived the accident. Well, get this. I've got an 85-year-old lady entrepreneur that is almost driven more than I am. She had it, she lost it, she had it, and her husband took off with the cleaning lady with 500 grand. And she wants to get involved with me. And of course, I'm going to definitely bring her in on this because she's got the patience to go through all our steps and do what you need to do. And yeah, I mean, 85, and she had a car accident where a deer put her horn through her head, through the car window. A buck came out of the ditch at 60 miles an hour and stuck a horn in her head, and she's still in the game.
I love it. Fill out the form, Paul. Let's quit talking. Let's quit doing. Let's go do it. Let's go do it. Look forward to working with you, Paul. All right, who's next?
Rob, I got a question.
What's up, Rob?
Do you recommend the deals for first time starters? That's in the beginning here.
Yeah. Almost everyone that started with me, Rob, starts brand new. A lot, my top partner, by the way, I've done well over 200 deals with him. He didn't even know how to spell the word real estate when he started with me.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Make sure you fill out the form. Let's talk, okay?
Okay, got it.
Let's do it. Yeah, we're set up for that. We're set up all the way from total beginner, novice, never done this before, to I've had people start with me that have over 200-300 deals behind them. They're just stuck and trying to figure out how to scale, and I show people how to do that. All right, make sure you fill out the form. All right, who's next? Any other questions?
It looks like James was raising his hand.
What's up, James?
How you doing? That's where I'm at. I'm trying to reach the next level. I've done too many deals to count. So, I'm trying to reach that next tier. I'm trying to get into the 10 million plus deals.
Yeah, I mean, what everybody realizes, James, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, real estate has got a box around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a financial box, it's a geography box, it's a knowledge box, it's an infrastructure box, it's a type of deal box, you know what I mean? Nobody thinks about that because everybody thinks real estate is wide open. It really is not. It's a very limiting business. Most of the time it's a financially limiting business. And the reason guys like you work with me is exactly what you said. I break open the box. I'm backed by, several billion-dollar hedge funds, so that's never an issue. We got a construction team that could be deployed all over the place, so that's not an issue. We could do this geographically all over the place, so that's not an issue. So I really, if you think of the best way to look at me for someone like you, I mean, you see it already. I'm preaching to the choir. I just open up the lid. I open up the lid. So yeah, make sure you fill out the form. I'll connect you with a team member. Let's go chase some dreams together.
Yeah, I filled out the form. My focus was I'm missing a team. Capital's not my problem. A team is my problem.
Team, it's funny. I tell people that almost everybody starts with us because of capital for obvious reasons. Because in the beginning, that's the most limiting thing, right?
Yeah.
In the end, the reason almost everyone stays is because of the team. Because that's the only way to scale this business.
It
No
is.
one ever got to be successful in real estate by well, I did it all. First of all, you don't want to do it all. Like, even if you can, you don't want to do it because talk about losing like 20 years of your life overnight. This is a business to do it in. But yeah, team is what is the bond. By the way, my team that'll be working, if we end up doing stuff together, My team has been with me collectively. It's not a huge team, but it's been collectively with me probably over 30 to 40 years. So it's the top team that could be assembled, from closing people to construction people to the infrastructure to the support, blah, 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 all the way across the board. You're going to love it. I promise you. Looking forward to it. All right, who's next? Just take yourself off mute, because I literally cannot tell on Zoom when people raise their hands. If you got a question for me, pop off mute. Going once. You got a question for me, pop off mute. Going twice. All right, I think we're all questioned out. I must have done a good job today. I must have covered it well. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the point. I mean, this is one of those things I said when we started, you know, it's either you're in or you're out. I've learned that people end up partnering with me. They see it right away. They're like, oh yeah, this is it. I want to do it. But if after today you're like, well, no, I don't need this, then we're just not a good fit. And that's okay. That's totally okay. I get it. I wish you the best of luck by yourself. But for those of you that are ready to take that next step, level up, do some things together, there's a link in chat, fill it out. But other than that, I appreciate it. I thank you for taking the time, and I look forward to connecting with a number of you guys. Thank you. Good night.